There's just something that Pillsbury knows that we don't. I would just like you guys to know that these hacks are Asian mom approved, so you know they're gonna be fired. No one else can save money like that woman, I swear to God. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Just kidding, I did put the camera on. Welcome back to another video. Today I am in my kitchen here to share with you guys. What am I sharing with you guys? This is what happens when I don't fully prepare ahead of time. I am here to share with you guys my top cooking hacks for busy healthcare students, healthcare professionals. So, fun fact, I am a huge foodie and I really played myself. Out of all of the careers I could have chosen after a fresh start after pharmacy, and I chose dentistry when I could have chosen like food blogging or something. Pretty mad at myself for that one, not gonna lie. I hope that you guys find these tips cheap, quick, helpful, easy, all that stuff. Before we get started, my name is Connie. I am a pharmacist turned dental student at Tufts University in Boston, and I like to make YouTube videos all about lifestyle tips for healthcare professionals and students. Also, in case you're wondering, I did decide to wear my scrubs today for a little healthcare flair. But it's honestly just because everything else is in the laundry, so on to the video. So first, I just wanted to share with you guys some good general tips and general hacks, and then later on in the video, I'll show you guys more recipes. Okay, tip number one, when you are shopping for groceries at the grocery store, one thing that a lot of people don't know is that stores actually put the most expensive items at your eye level because they're hoping that that way you'll see that first and then you'll buy the most expensive thing. Joke's on them because I'm 5 feet tall. Another fun fact that I learned was actually that stores put the higher margin priced items on the right side of like when you're walking down an aisle because they know that Americans are trained to drive like on the right side, so they think that you'll look to the right first and then therefore buy the most expensive thing. Honestly, I don't really know how much that is going to like affect your shopping habits. I feel like in general I still always look for the cheapest thing anyways, but in case you didn't know, now you know. Fun fact to whip out at holiday parties. Not that you should be having them during Corona. Okay, hack number two is also a money saving hack. So in general, you want to bulk buy products that are super dense and heavy. So make sure that you're bulk buying in those like pre-made mesh bags. Potatoes, onions, carrots, apples. Yes, it sucks because sometimes I'm like, I don't need like a 5-pound sack of potatoes, but you're saving so much money in the long run. This is probably like one of the biggest ways to save money than if you individually grabbed potatoes and put them in the bag and bought them like per pound. Okay, number three, I actually really like this hack. So if you're going to be packing, I don't know why I'm still holding this. If you're going to be packing raw onions into your lunch and you don't want it to smell super stinky and you don't want your breath to smell super bad after, and also if you don't like the kind of really intense flavor of raw onions, after you cut your onions, soak them in ice cold water for about 20 minutes, and that should actually help lessen the intensity of the onion, smell and taste wise. That way you don't offend everyone in the library or at work with your smelly breath. Okay, hack number four, I actually really like to do with my morning coffee all the time. If you add salt and cinnamon to your coffee, it's actually kind of a game changer because what the salt does is salt kind of makes the coffee taste a lot less bitter. I guess if you're really into that, then don't do it, but I like coffee that's really like smooth and easy to drink, so the salt helps to neutralize that. And then also the cinnamon just tastes like cinnamon. I don't know, it tastes good with your coffee. In line recently, I've been really obsessed with doing this for my morning coffee, where I mixed my iced coffee with a chocolate protein shake. So this is the pre-made kind that I get. It's just the chocolate muscle milk. And this kind of acts in place of a creamer. So it's really great because it's kind of like a 2-in-1 breakfast, because when I have this, usually I'm full for like all of breakfast time. Great on days when you have like clinic or when you don't really have the time and you're rushing. The next are things that my Asian mom just like taught me growing up. Like I always saw her doing this. So I didn't really think they were hacks, but like maybe they are hacks for you guys out there. Number one, if you buy bagged greens or vegetables from the store and you take them home and you feel like they're about to go bad, or you feel like in the bag they're like a little bit wet, right when you get home from the store, open it up and then put in a piece of paper towel. Paper towel soaks up any sort of wetness or condensation, and then that helps keep the vegetables more crisp and fresh for longer. Also, number two, if you want your bananas to last longer, try wrapping around the ends with plastic wrap, and that somehow prevents it from ripening any further. Actually leads me to my point number three, which is if you have avocados or fruits that you want to ripen faster, put them near super ripe fruits, because fruits like communicate to each other with their gases that they're emitting. So if you have a super ripe fruit, usually it actually helps the other fruits around it get more ripe. Okay, hack number 6, this is kind of my guide to getting frozen produce, because some things are actually better frozen than they are canned. or even fresh, because when things are frozen, they're picked at their peak ripeness. So there are some things that you should get frozen and some things that you just shouldn't. Like I'm telling you, don't do it. And it can also save you a lot of money. So things that I do like to buy frozen. Number 1, frozen cherries and berries, great for smoothies. Number 2, I like to get broccoli, cauliflower, peas, corn, spinach, and carrots frozen, because those vegetables and produce I don't really notice a huge difference with between buying fresh and buying frozen. So usually buying frozen ends up saving money and you don't notice the difference in taste. Number 3, I really like to get my frozen udon noodles from the store because they're really quick to cook. All you do for these frozen udon is you just pour like hot water from a kettle over it and have it sit there for like 1 minute. And that's easier to me than having to like take out a pan, fill it with water, add the noodles. It's just like this whole thing. So just get frozen noodles. Okay, now these are things that I personally have bought frozen and now I regret them. So don't make the same mistake as me. 1, frozen Brussels sprouts. People say it's fine, but like, it's not fine, okay? I don't know, whenever you buy them frozen, to me, they always end up super like mushy when I try to roast them. If I microwave them, they're like this weird texture. I just don't think that Brussels sprouts should be bought in frozen. Number 2, mangoes. I just feel like frozen mangoes, they never really all taste as good as fresh. A mango just should be appreciated at its freshness. I see you and I appreciate you. Okay, along the same line, hack number 7, know when to buy store brand or generic versus when to buy brand name. I'll buy a lot of stuff generic brand or store brand because I am a frugal bitch. So things like pasta, beans, frozen vegetables, chips, for the most part, it's okay. I don't notice a huge quality difference, but there are 2 things that have crushed me the wrong way that I will never buy not brand name again. Number 1, cinnamon buns or rolls. Just get the Pillsbury kind because the store brand is just never as good. They always burn extra. There's just something that Pillsbury knows that we don't. Just love yourself. Okay, last but not least, I don't know if anyone is interested in these, but I personally love them. Sardines, but let me show you what brand not to get. Okay, Bumblebee sardines. Just don't get these, especially not in water. They're just so gross. There's a reason why. I'm pretty sure I got these in like August. There's a reason why we still have them in the house. A good brand to get for sardines, if you want to get like a good kind, is the Trader Joe's smoked sardines in oil. So good. Hack number 8. Okay, so this hack is all about how to prep meals in advance, because the thing is, I'm not a huge meal prepper. I just get bored really easy. So it's really hard for me to make the same exact like meal all the time. But I do like to prep ahead the essentials or things that like I can combine with other things, because that way I at least have something ready. 1, I like to prep kale salads. So basically I get the kale that's pre-washed and bagged at the store, and what I do is I like hand separate it from the stem, and I kind of like hand crush it a little, hand tear it a little, get it all up in there, and then I put it into a bowl and I massage that kale. I massage it with olive oil or lemon juice, and that kind of helps break down the toughness, and it makes it more, I don't know, palatable. It makes it softer. It makes it more like lettuce-like because it's softer and easier to chew, and ultimately it just makes it taste really good. So that kale salad base will be a base for a bunch of salads that I can do throughout the week. I like to do kale Greek salads by adding like feta cheese, tomatoes, red onion, and olives. I like to do kale Caesar salads by just adding some shredded chicken and some Caesar dressing and some croutons. And I even like to do like a kale salad fall bowl. So I do like the base kale salad, and then I add things like roasted chickpeas, roasted sweet potatoes, cut up pieces of apple, blue cheese, shredded chicken, or hard-boiled egg. So those are just 3 ideas for salads that you can do with your kale base, but you can really do like any type of salad that you like. This is a really good way to trick yourself into eating something healthy, because the kale is like really good for you, but it doesn't really taste like you're eating like a pile of twigs, you know? Okay, another thing that I like to prep in advance is hard-boiled egg. Okay, another thing that I like to prep in advance, but like it's not even really prep, I like to buy like healthy brown rice packets, and that way I can just reheat them whenever I want rice. Last but not least, I do like to prep protein in advance just because it's kind of like a hassle to cook. So sometimes on Sundays I would prep like chicken in advance, or even like just boil chicken breast, and that way have it shredded, so throughout the week I can change the flavor if I want. Okay, and last but not least, in this video I built up a lot of anticipation about this recipe. I honestly think sometimes I am a culinary genius. So I am someone that could eat sushi literally 24/7, like all 3 meals a day, every day of the week. So this is for students that often hear things like you can't afford sushi all the time, you can't eat sushi all the time, it's not healthy to eat sushi all the time. Those things are true, but this is both a healthy hack because it's low carb and there's actually no rice involved, but it still tastes the same as normal sushi, and cherry on top is that you save so much money by not buying sushi this way. All right, now listen up. If you want to make something that tastes exactly like sushi, you need 3 things. Number 1, you need soy sauce plus rice vinegar. Second, you need a ginger element because ginger is honestly something that you just like can't really replace the taste of. Thing is, you don't really need pickled ginger like they serve at sushi restaurants. Sometimes you can just substitute ginger in a squeeze bottle, which is what I personally use because I don't always have pickled ginger on hand. I think there's something about like how artificial this is that really helps it. Make sure you get this squeezed ginger if you don't have pickled ginger, and don't grate it yourself because I just think that's gonna set you up for disappointment. And number 3, something seafoody. And I can break this down into 2 categories. 1, you need something legit seaweedy or akaki because it's a mix of both seaweed and sesame seeds, and that combination makes it feel like you're eating a sushi roll without the hassle of having to like roll your own seaweed, because you could get your own nori sheets, which is the seaweed sheets, and make your own sushi at home, but then you're basically just making normal sushi. So that doesn't really help this whole bowl hack. If you're vegetarian, that's okay. You can modify with something like cucumber slices or carrot slices, but for me personally, I love seafood. So what I do is super cheap seafoods. So you can use canned tuna. My favorite personally is frozen shrimp. You can also do imitation crab or imitation lobster meat, which is what I have for an example today. Okay, first things first, you're gonna wanna bake your sweet potatoes in the oven on a lower heat around like 350, because you don't want these to be completely mushy. You want these to still have a little bit of a bite to them. Do you like that cool little transition I added? So basically you're gonna cube up the sweet potatoes, and then you're going to add furikake, soy sauce, and rice wine vinegar, and then you're going to add mayo, sriracha, and that squeezed ginger to your seafood protein, and voila! It's literally that simple. So instead of eating rice, you're gonna be eating sweet potatoes, so you still have carbs, but at least they're healthy carbs, and it's better for you. And then you can add avocado and cucumbers to make it more sushi-like, and then also wasabi too. And this is what it actually looks like once you start eating it. Still beautiful though. Okay, so it's a little while later, and now I'm editing this video and I'm eating this bowl. Took off my lashes. I am genuinely so blown away by how good this is, how accurate it tastes to real sushi. I'm just like, I'm shocked. I'm a genius. No, but like in all honesty, I want you guys to try this because it is just so legit. I think what really makes it is the furikake between like the seaweed and the sesame seeds. The sesame seeds and the seaweed really add to the sushi flavor. And then also the ginger, the squeezed ginger in a bottle that I added to the protein, the seafood protein, it makes it taste exactly like pickled ginger, and that's why I think you should use this squeeze bottle ginger and not fresh grated ginger. And then the addition of the cucumber and the avocado, like, it's just so good. And then the sweet potato, it tastes just like a sweet potato tempura roll. I want you guys to know that when I was filming this video, I was like, ugh, I'm like so not hungry right now. I'm so not in the mood to eat this, but I'll just like make it for the video purposes. And then I had one bite and now I'm like ravenous. Like my mouth is watering just thinking about finishing this because it's so good. Like it completely changed around my appetite. Okay, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you guys found these tips helpful. If you like what you saw, please subscribe down below and comment if you have any other cool cooking hacks that you would like to share. I'll see you guys next time. Also, while I have you here, if you like what you see, follow along on Instagram. I share a lot more hacks and real little tips on there too, as well as behind the scenes of my life, which is currently just binge watching BTS interviews, so